And much more with retired four-star General, Fox News strategic senior analyst, General Jack Keane. Good to have you, General.
Yeah, good to see you, Shannon.
Okay, so let's talk about what we've seen so far tonight. Just months ago, they were still over North Korea carrying out ballistic missile tests. Less than a year ago was their sixth nuclear test. You have been one of the ones, no matter how many times I ask you, who always thought this meeting would come to fruition. What do you make of what we've seen so far?
Well, I think we're getting off on the right foot. First of all, it is Kim Jong-un who requested the one-on-one meeting, just with interpreters only. I think he really wanted to get a feel for the president and get himself comfortable. You know, saving face is a major issue in the Asian community. I don't think he wanted to show any discomfort in front of his own advisors, and that's why he wanted that one-on-one meeting. Not so much to accomplish major substantive issues, but just to get to know each other. What I think is happening here certainly is Kim Jong-un's advisors and Kim Jong-un himself has already told Secretary Pompeo that he's willing to denuclearize. But the proof of that, and I think that is why President Trump has shown some optimism about the summit that is now underway. But the real issue will be how do we tell if that is actually going to come to pass? Here's how. Because we'll get into a discussion. You have to identify and locate for us your nuclear arsenal. By that I mean they have about 10 to 20 weapons, we believe. We don't know where all of them are, so they have to identify and locate where those weapons are, where the fuel sites are for those weapons, where the research sites are, where the storage sites are. They've got about 70 to 80 ballistic missiles. We know where most of them are, but not where all of them are. They have to identify and locate that for us. That is when you start to see that possibility that this would be successful if they're willing to come forward with that information, which is, after all, their most secret and guarded information.
Yeah, and what they feel guarantees the safety of the regime. So you got to imagine it's going to be a good deal for them. They're going to have to believe in order to cough up that information. I want to read you something from a Columbia University law professor who's been studying this idea of formally ending the Korean War. A piece in the LA Times, he says this: if you sign a peace treaty without denuclearization, you are giving de facto recognition to North Korea as a nuclear state. You are giving North Korea exactly what it wants and perpetuating the problem. But that, General, as you know, we've repeatedly discussed, is one of the main goals of these conversations.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think what could likely happen as a result of this summit is to begin the process that would lead to ending the Korean War and the armistice, which leads also to a peace treaty. So, in other words, we commit to the process. We don't commit to the end state. But absolutely, the intermediate objective that has to be achieved before any peace treaty is brought to the Senate for ratification is the denuclearization of North Korea. That is an absolute imperative. The Trump team is very cognizant of that fact. They will not trade away a peace treaty and ending the war prior to denuclearization. What they will do, though, is they'll commit to the process. The other thing they can commit to is commit to a process of normalization with North Korea, so we can exchange liaison offices, etc. And that's just a process. So there is a lot of things that can be accomplished at this summit that puts in motion what is the ultimate objective for the United States, which is denuclearization that's complete and also verifiable. And if they start to commit for identification and location, and then the next question I'm sure Secretary Pompeo put on the table is we need to verify it. We want U.S. inspectors involved. We're willing to have other independent inspectors. We're not going to turn this over to the IAEA as it's been done in the past because they have made false claims, and we're not going to go down that road. That is another shoe that has to drop if North Korea is clearly committed to denuclearization.
Yeah, we know that they've had many other agreements and understandings in the past over numerous Democrat and Republican administrations, and they've often ended with a missile test or some other kind of test that North Korea had agreed they weren't going to do anymore. So we know that this is a very detailed, very tedious process. This administration, President Trump probably wanting a much more expedited timetable on this denuclearization than what Kim Jong-un would agree to. So we'll have to see how they hammer out those details. General Keane, thank you very much for your insights, sir. Always great to have you.